Today we're talking about the fourth and last pillar upon which is your roadmap to life mastery, to success in any endeavor in your life. And it's the very fundamental principles that we build all throughout the 4 days of the Silva Method Immersion of Life and Intuition System, as well as 2 days in our graduate advanced program called Silva Mastery. So the first pillar we talked about was the importance of managing your energy, the importance of navigating life with grace and ease, having more vitality and joy. Second, the importance of then, in addition to that, knowing what you want, having clearly defined goals and staying focused on them. And then number 3, confidence by overcoming limiting beliefs, believing in yourself, believing that you can somehow, some way figure things out and steps you can take. Today we want to really build on a bit, and I want to offer you some tips about how to use more of your mind and use it in a special manner. If you look at highly successful people, people you admire, perhaps biographies you've read, people be they alive or deceased, there are common denominators, aren't there? There are universal truths. Often these people, these innovators, these scientists, these people who have breakthroughs, these people who change and disrupt the way things are done in a positive way, think differently. They recognize they have a different skill set, if you will. I believe that skill set is, in addition to others, this fourth one, the ability to use more of your mind and use it in a special manner. And what does that mean? Well, to use your intuition, to have a high level of accurate, reliable intuition, which relates also to creativity, so that you can make better, wiser decisions in all you do, so that you can innovate, come up with creative ideas to help you solve problems, reach more solutions. So, for example, we know, psychologically speaking, that regardless of what you study, what your belief system is in your background, we know that we have 2 modes of conscious awareness. What's called the objective mode of consciousness. It sounds kind of odd to put it, but it simply means our physical senses, what we can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. What we can, in addition to that, logically deduce, figure things out with analysis and rational mind and logic. Very important. We also have, however, a subjective mode of consciousness. And the subjective meaning non-physical, non-verbal communication, instincts, feelings, intuition, creativity, stuff that's hard to put in words that you maybe can't see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. And regardless of what you call it, neuroscientists are exploring the anterior cingulate, a small little part of the brain, as it relates to intuition. Well, they may be correct. I don't know. I do know this, though. For over 49 years, this is my favorite topic. I am the go-to guy in the Silva Method organization globally. We've been in 101 nations when it comes to this. And one thing I've recognized in my own life and in the countless people I've come into contact with and had the opportunity, the pleasure to train, and perhaps you too, that somehow, some way, we can get information, reliable information that can guide us, that goes beyond our normal 5-sense awareness. So it's convenient to call it intuition. Some in the back used to emphasize ESP. Gut, women's intuition. So think about it. How would that serve you? How would that serve you to make better decisions if you knew you could trust your intuition, if you knew fact that what you're sensing, what you think is intuition, is truly reliable intuition? Well, you make decisions every day of your life. We all do. It would guide you in making better investments, better career choices. So many people who have graced me with their presence in class were salespeople or building a business or building a practice, and they've got a long list of clients. In fact, I was just talking with our investment advisor the other day, and he told me how often he has his client list, and he just has an impression to call someone. And often on the other end, say, "Oh God, Fran, I was thinking about you. Thanks for calling." Have you had that experience yourself too? So you could use your intuition to guide you to use your time more wisely. You can only get so much done, so many calls a day, so many meetings, projects you're working on. What are your priorities? And you may logically know, and here's the key, guys, gals. The key is to combine your logic with your intuition. So for example, I was talking with my brother-in-law the other day, and he said, "You're the guy who taught me to trust your gut." And he's an expert in an area that I was interested in getting some opinion. I said, "Yeah, I do trust my gut. This is my impression. And now I'm using my logic and getting objectively some facts from you to guide me, to just reinforce, to know that what I'm sensing is accurate, that I can rely on it." So it really takes two. It takes an integration of both our objective mode of consciousness, what we know through, objectively speaking, evidence of five senses, and our intuition. And for innovation, for creativity, just about every breakthrough in medicine, in science, in technology has come about because someone had the courage to think differently. And how often, you know this, you've heard, they've been challenged. No way, it couldn't be done. But they knew somehow, some way they could figure it out. And then they did. And then when they did, everyone started following. And then it became common. It became mainstream, if you will. That's how often trends are set, aren't they? So what are some of the steps? I would like to offer you a couple of quick tips that are important. One is, it's important to be playful. Have fun. Playful curiosity is an attribute, a quality that fosters the bringing out of what? Intuition. Be playful. If you're pushing and pushing and pushing and trying so hard. Those of you know my story when I was in school, flunking out of college, because I was trying too hard. When you're trying too hard, you're going to make things up. You're going to wishfully think or go into fear. And wishful thinking and fear-based thinking don't work. They distort us. They distort our thinking. We don't make good decisions. So playful curiosity, what you're looking for in that playful curiosity is a feeling like you're making it up. A first impression. Intuition is usually fleeting. It comes and goes just as quickly. So write it down if you have ideas, or record it. But do something so that you can then follow through on it. So often you feel it's the most common denominator I've experienced with the hundreds of thousands of people I've guided and had the pleasure to train in the 4-day silver immersion. You feel like you're making it up, and it's a first impression. And then when you get feedback, you need to then have feedback that tells you right or wrong, yes or no, so that you can then begin to compare. Okay, I was way off here, but I was spot on here. What's the difference that made the difference? So was it a feeling for you? Was it a visual image? Was it an auditory thought or idea or message, like as if hearing a voice? You want to become self-aware of where you flow, what works best for you, and journal that. And so as you begin to gather more and more experiences, you begin to recognize the distinctions between when you're accurate and when you're not. It's not something you can read. There are a lot of experts out there, incredible intuitives. They do readings. They'll knock your socks off. And I listen to them, and I marvel. The one thing that I caution you about is, it's kind of almost like, it's almost like a guru model of training. Yeah, we learn listening to people and then give tips. There's nothing like practical experience. It's a skill set. I believe, I've come to realize after all these decades, our organization, the Silva Method, has been in over 110 countries for better than 54 years. And we find it's a skill set that anybody can develop who's interested in. And the best way to develop it is, there are tips, is practice. So my friends, practice with your intuition. Recognize when you have a hunch, when you have a thought, an idea, and it's on the money. Start with simple things. If you grace us with your presence, and I hope you do, it's a 4 long days, and it's based on meditation, exercises, creative visualization, and we practice and practice every step of the way. You're building your confidence by actually having evidence to support, hey, I'm making progress. And when it comes to the intuition, 2 of the 4 days we spend practicing, playing, and I mean playing with your intuition. You'll have a variety of experiences so that you can have lots of practical feedback. We call them points of reference that you can contrast, comparing when you were off, when you were on the money, and what's the difference that made that difference. And the more you practice, the more certain. And the more certain you are, the more you'll listen and trust your intuition. So my friends, I hope this helps. I appreciate you and thank you, that especially if you're here to the end of the video watching. Remember, you're far more than what you appear to be. You have far more potential than you recognize. You have these skill sets. And when you look at other people and say, whoa, I really admire that gal. Boy, she's amazing. What a genius. You have genius capability within you too. Maybe you just haven't recognized it, or maybe you have recognized it and you haven't developed the skills to allow it to emerge. So it does take training. It does take the right training. It does take practice. It's not easy. Definitely not. It's not a quick fix. But it can be done. I believe in you, especially since you're here watching this, because you're taking action. And if you're willing to take action, you're already curious and you're learning, and that's a good way to begin. My name is Ken Kasha. I serve as the lead instructor and international training director for the Silva Method. Thank you kindly for watching. Please share this with others who maybe could benefit. Please make some comments. I'd love to hear from you. And one day, I hope to meet you in a live training. Thanks so much, guys.